Chosen one, you didn't stumble here. You were summoned. Something inside you has been reaching, questioning, waiting, and now the answer is reaching back. This is your moment. The very fact that you're reading these words is proof. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked, and you were never meant to settle for ordinary. You are chosen, handpicked for a story bigger than anything you've dared to imagine. You've carried weight in silence, fought battles no one saw, and kept believing even when the evidence said you shouldn't. That makes you rare. That makes you unstoppable. What's ahead of you isn't just love. It's destiny catching up to you. It's time to lift your head, straighten your back, and get ready, because what's been prepared for you is more than you asked for and exactly what you were made for. You are not here to blend in. You are here to break through. Let this message remind you, you are not waiting in vain. You are waiting on purpose, looking for purpose and peace. Hit subscribe and start the journey. What's unfolding now has been quietly prepared all along. Every delay and silence was not neglect, but a precise arrangement, making sure that when love finally steps into view, it doesn't just soothe the heart. It resonates with the path you've been carving. Not everyone can keep pace with someone whose journey carries rare weight, whose hands have been entrusted with something so delicate yet powerful, whose eyes have been trained to see what others overlook. That's why the gates around this kind of heart were not left unguarded. There are layers to this message, revealed in a sequence of 5, not as a casual story, but as a signal woven for those ready to hear. Before anything else, pause and reflect. This is not ordinary noise, but a tailored answer aimed directly at your spirit. If you feel the pulse of recognition now, leave a trace below, perhaps a number or a word, something to declare to yourself, and beyond that you stand open, whole, and aligned for a love that doesn't merely decorate your days, but strengthens your vision. Few will truly follow this message to its end. Only those already attuned to lead and love with intention will recognize its depth. Those who remain will carry away a sharper sense of what's ahead, a certainty that what has been waiting for you is alive and already making its way into your story. Each time these words return to you, another insight will surface. Another invisible lock will turn. Don't approach this as content to consume. Let it speak as a blueprint to your own heart, because what's approaching is not generic affection. It's a bond crafted for the version of you that emerged through every trial and silence. And it's almost here. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. Every chapter of becoming carries an unseen purpose, even when the wait feels endless. There have been moments standing among others whose stories seem to bloom early, while carrying silent doubts about your own path. It may have looked like love arrived for everyone else with ease and volume, yet lingered beyond your reach. That perception was an illusion. What seemed like waiting was an unseen design at work. Timing was never random, it was deliberate. Some were allowed to grasp what came quickly because their journey bore a different meaning. What was written for you was never meant to resemble theirs. It was shaped with quiet care, interwoven with what you are destined to build, layered with intention. Where others moved fast toward connection, you were being sculpted to sustain something rare. Where they leapt into closeness, you were being anchored for something enduring. This is why certain paths crumbled before they became permanent. The fractured beginnings were never failures, they were necessary endings. The future could not be bound to what could not hold its weight. It was never meant to let shallow ties distract what was meant to flourish deeper. Even when goodbyes arrived uninvited, they carved resilience into you. When stillness settled, it clarified what mattered. When nights felt unkind, they were shaping discernment and strength within you. When what's been forming finally arrives, it won't arrive to fill emptiness. It will stand alongside fullness. There will be no second guessing, no fog of uncertainty. Only recognition of what was always meant to align. Waiting was never punishment. It was quiet preparation. The noise faded so inner clarity could emerge. The clamor of approval dissolved so confidence could take root. What seemed delayed was laying a foundation before the walls could rise. What steps forward next will not simply compensate for the time gone. It will reveal why the time was essential. When it comes, it will bring calm instead of doubt, understanding instead of chaos. Each unseen moment nourished what is about to break through. If your heart overflows with divine love, Now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. Every quiet evening became a hidden investment in perfect timing. What takes form now will stand strong and luminous. The person you've become was forged to mirror what you once only dreamed of meeting. There needed to be enough healing to cherish the gift without worshiping it. Enough courage to keep going even when alone. Enough wisdom to choose connection over comfort. Now it's not just about being ready for affection. It's about being prepared for a union that plants seeds for generations to come. This isn't arriving late. It's arriving exactly when everything aligns. The path you walked was never overlooked. It was chosen, refined, and set apart. What comes now moves toward you because both of you were being readied, separately but in. The harmony kind of love that honors what you carry is already finding its way to you. There comes a turning point when longing is no longer enough, when something deeper demands repair before anything new can be held. At one time, the hunger for love was strong, but the readiness to sustain it was still out of reach. Not because of a lack of worth, but because fractures in the heart would have spilled into what was meant to remain untainted. What was unseen then has become clear now. A tender and deliberate pause was necessary. A fragile foundation, no matter how pure the gift, risks collapsing under its own weight. So the timing was never meant to wound, but to restore. The connection you imagined was always on its way, but it needed a different version of you to greet it. There were hidden corners in the soul still echoing with loss, still shaped by old harm, still armed with defenses that once served but now suffocated. Those walls had to be carefully dismantled, not in haste, but with measured, quiet precision. This was sacred work, not a quick fix. The future demanded a vessel that overflowed, not one that leaked emptiness. So the journey began to fill what had been drained, moving through quiet sorrow, through unspoken grief, through long, solitary nights that no one witnessed. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. This was never only about making space for someone else. It was about learning how to exist fully without applause, how to see value undiminished in silence, how to recognize that absence never erases worth. When love does arrive, it is not coming to rescue or validate. It comes to walk beside what has already learned how to stand alone. Without that healing, gentle love might have looked suspicious, and steady devotion might have felt foreign, perhaps even unwanted. The familiar chaos of broken patterns would have disguised real care as falsehood. Stability would have seemed dull because it lacked the turbulence, once mistaken for passion, that had to be unlearned before trust could grow. So the soul was stripped of illusions, untangled from distorted ideas of closeness, taught how to discern between fleeting sparks and enduring warmth. This healing wasn't just for survival. It was to protect the beauty of what would come. That way no buried wound could spill over into the hands of someone who only came to love, not to harm. That way fear would no longer disguise itself as wisdom, nor doubt masquerade as discernment. That way calm would feel like safety, not like emptiness. The one who stands here now no longer chases shadows. There's no scramble to be chosen, no thirst for outside validation. No rush to fill a silence that isn't heavy anymore. This chapter unfolds not from desperation, but from clarity. There's no room left for what drains or diminishes. What was once endured out of fear is now refused from strength. Waiting has become active, not idle, filled with power rather than longing. The healing was never simply personal. It was a way of preserving the future. Because of that deep inner work, what draws near now won't feel fragile or forced. It will settle in like something that was always meant to belong, not merely because of who arrives, but because of who has become ready to meet them. Some unions are born not to soothe, but to strengthen. They do not pull the thread of your purpose loose, but weave themselves into it seamlessly. A true partner does not eclipse what you carry. They amplify it if your heart overflows with divine love. Now is the moment to let it shine. Click the super thank you button on YouTube and give $50 or more to help carry God's light to others. Your gift will bless not only your life, but countless others. You are part of His sacred plan. Your kindness may be the answer to someone's prayer. Share your blessings and honor His kingdom. May His grace guide you always. What approaches now will never ask you to dim or fold yourself into silence. There will be no suggestion that you shrink, no quiet expectation to tuck away the brilliance of your journey or question the direction of your steps. This love was never intended to contend against what you are called to build. It was created to stand alongside it, not as competition, but as complement. No crossroads will force you to choose between intimacy and calling. They will move together, not as rivals, but as rhythm. You will find yourself able to embrace both without compromise. Affection and vision will breathe in unison. You will craft and love in the same hands, dream and labor without losing connection, deepen closeness without diminishing reach. When two lives are rightly paired, the bond is not merely for solace, but for something greater. This kind of love is not intimidated by what you carry. It is drawn to it, steady and assured. They will meet the depth in you with respect, not resistance. There will be no need for you to collapse into smallness, for them to stand tall. They will already inhabit their own wholeness. This bond does not leave space for rivalry, only for alliance, because it is never about individual pride, but about shared purpose. You will stand together not just in private comfort, but in persistent prayer. You will face what comes not just side by side, but in unity. Even when unseen forces try to fracture what has been formed, you will build more than a life. You will build a legacy. Not just houses and plans, but quiet strategies and unseen victories. It will feel unlike anything before. Not chaotic, not fragile, not full of conditions, but stable, quiet in its certainty, clear in its alignment. This love will touch not just your emotions, but your mind and spirit. You will not need to explain what you carry. They will already move in harmony with it. They won't stand on the edges of your calling in awe. They will step inside it and help defend it. They will not compete for the light, but shield it with their own. Your triumphs will feel shared, not envied. Your glow will not threaten, but inspire. This kind of love does not admire from afar. It participates fully. They will speak life into your weary moments and honor your high ones. You will serve side by side without resistance, envision tomorrow without dread, correct one another with kindness instead of control. You will worship in openness, work in wisdom, dream in agreement, because this is not just a meeting of hearts, but of assignments, an understanding that love is not simply an emotion, but a duty carried together. This connection is not just pleasant chemistry, it is shared clarity, not just attraction, but alignment. Not a passing arrangement, but a timeless partnership. When it arrives, there will be no confusion. Your soul will recognize the harmony before your mind does. This love does not displace you from your path. It roots you deeper. It does not obscure your connection to what matters most. It sharpens it. It does not stall what you are becoming. It accelerates it. Because what comes together now is more than a pair of lives. It is a covenant wrapped around a mission. A union that moves the story forward. And when this arrives, it won't compete with your purpose. It will carry it further. There are seasons when silence teaches more than any voice could. What felt like abandonment was actually an apprenticeship in wholeness. The stretch of days when no one reached out, when presence was stripped away, and the air itself felt heavy. That was where the work began. It wasn't exile, but a sacred sanctuary. The absence of others was the only way to hear what had long been buried under their noise. To love another rightly, everything you once believed about love had to be dismantled and rewritten. In that quiet, a clearer reflection emerged, not one distorted by longing or illusion, but one honest enough to confront the roots of what you thought love required. There was a time when persistence was mistaken for passion, when pain was mistaken for proof, when sacrifice was mistaken for worth. But left alone with the truth, those old myths unraveled. All the moments of overextending, hoping that more effort would convince someone to stay, revealed for what they were. The endless concessions, passed off as grace when they were really grief wearing a disguise. The words you spoke over yourself, just to justify staying where your soul was unseen, all exposed. Stillness clarified what noise had obscured. It revealed that you were not meant to beg for places you could create yourself. What once felt like rejection became the foundation of dignity. In that solitude, you uncovered how much you had enabled what hurt you, how much you tolerated just to feel tolerated, how often you traded self-respect for fleeting approval. That former version dissolved, and with it came the understanding that real love would never demand silence, would never require you to vanish in order to belong. Those nights of tears, of revisiting old wounds, of releasing hands you still loved, none of it wasted. All of it became part of a larger healing, a return to yourself. You stopped waiting to be chosen because you finally understood you already were, chosen in ways no human rejection could erase. You became rooted enough that no absence could shake your value, strong enough to stop running toward what emptied you. What once felt like hunger for connection has transformed into confidence and incompletion. That season stripped away the need for applause. It dismantled the patterns of clinging to what broke you. It severed the idea that fixing everyone else made you whole. It revealed that solitude was not abandonment, it was alignment. Now, love will not arrive to rescue you from emptiness. It will meet you anchored, boundaries intact, vision clear, no longer mistaking anxiety for affection. Discernment has replaced desperation. Patience has replaced panic. The time alone became a curriculum in peace, teaching how to guard your inner ground, honor your own becoming, and pour from fullness instead of fracture. There's no longer fear of being solitary. That space has become a fortress of strength, not a prison of lack. And when someone finally enters, they will encounter a soul already whole, not searching for completion, but open to connection. That lonely stretch cultivated insight. It raised your standards. It deepened your spirit's foundation. You wait now not as someone fragile, but as someone wise. That wisdom will draw a love that reflects something eternal, not just emotional. Some connections don't simply arrive to stir the surface. They awaken something ancient within. The kind of love on its way was never ordinary. It was always intentional. It won't just catch your eye or spark a fleeting desire. It will reach into the quiet places of your being and light them with recognition. This connection won't be stitched together from impulse, charm, or superficial admiration. Its roots are planted in something older than you can name, something your essence already agreed to before you ever breathed your first breath. Long before you entered this world, the path you'd walk and the soul you'd walk it with had already been woven together. And when that person appears, something unspoken inside you will remember. It may feel impossible to explain in words, yet undeniable to feel, not as a rush in your chest, but as a calm certainty in your core. Because love that is sacred doesn't begin with the body. It begins where the body cannot reach. They won't feel like a reflection of your brokenness. They will feel like proof of your restoration. There will be no chasing, no scrambling to impress, no endless clarifying of who you are. They will already see it. Your depth will not exhaust them. It will intrigue them. Your vision will not frighten them. It will inspire them. This love won't sweep you into confusion. It won't awaken old fears or leave you questioning your value. Instead, it will feel like a door opening where there used to be a wall. You'll feel witnessed, not merely for your face or your talents, but for the fabric of your soul. That is how you'll know. It was never sent to test you, but to testify of what was promised. There will be no heaviness of pressure, only the lightness of peace. You'll grow in ways that feel real, not performative. You'll hear words that echo your purpose, not scripts designed to sway your feelings. They will encourage without judgment, support without needing the spotlight, and lift you higher without diminishing your journey. This bond will carry the mark of depth. Together, prayer won't feel forced. It will feel natural. Together, gratitude won't be a ritual. It will become rhythm. Together, purpose won't just unite you. It will anchor you. You will no longer wonder if someone is just passing through. They will arrive in alignment, not by accident, but by timing. No pretense will be needed. No pieces of yourself hidden away. When love comes with sacredness, it invites your whole self to the table. There will be no need to defend why you're so thoughtful, so deliberate, so intentional. They will treasure it as though it's the most natural thing in the world. Their spirit will already speak the same dialect as yours. You'll meet their gaze, and something inside will quietly say, "This is why you waited. This is why nothing before ever fit. This is why every lesser choice fell away." What you long for will arrive dressed in purpose, not just sentiment. This love won't arrive to derail your progress. It will remind you that your heart was never forgotten. You will laugh without worry. You will plan without dread. You will trust without reliving old harm. It will become clear this wasn't simply someone arriving. It was the right one arriving. This love won't just hold you gently. It will help hold your path steady. It will stretch you with kindness, ground you with devotion, affirm you with consistency, and honor you with quiet strength. Most of all, it will reflect a higher love, one that is patient, unwavering, generous, and safe. Some love stories are not written only for the ones living them. They are written for everyone watching. What is forming now is more than a private answer to prayer. It is a signal to the world. This is not just about filling a void or finding comfort. This is about becoming a living example of what it means when two people choose conviction over convenience, depth over distraction, and faith over fleeting pleasure. The partnership taking shape was never meant to blend into the ordinary. It was designed to stand out as evidence. When your lives intersect, a quiet shift will ripple outward. Unseen forces will take notice. What you carry together will be more than affection. It will be alignment with something higher. You'll embody restoration, show that what was fractured can be repaired, and prove that love guided by purpose is still possible. People won't just witness two people in harmony. They'll see the fingerprints of something greater etched across your path. Together, you will dismantle patterns that once ran through generations. You'll bring healing to places neither of you could reach alone. You'll become walking proof that waiting wasn't wasted. It was preparation stitched into time itself. This kind of love requires more than enjoyment. It demands stewardship, because it doesn't come lightly. It comes carrying weight, a responsibility to hold it with care. It will need patience, discernment, forgiveness, and intentional words, but it will not lack support. Unseen hands will guide and shield it. Unseen voices will intercede on its behalf. Unseen power will sustain it when you feel empty. Your bond will become a beacon for others searching for hope. It will remind those on the verge of giving up that it's not too late to believe. It will stand as a quiet challenge to those who've forgotten that love can still carry meaning. People will notice, without you even trying. They'll wonder how it came to be. They'll ask how you knew. And every answer you offer will circle back to one truth. This was never just your doing. You will enter rooms and bring change with nothing but your presence. Not because you're flawless, but because what you carry together disrupts what is stagnant. Your prayers over one another will be stronger than your plans. Your vision will stretch beyond yourselves. You will walk with clarity, and others will feel it. When you speak as one, things will shift. When you align in silence, things will heal. When you love without fear, even those watching from afar will remember what's possible. This connection won't just be an experience. It will be a reminder to everyone that there is still something sacred about love. That commitment isn't obsolete. That timing still matters. Many will watch quietly, not out of jealousy, but because it stirs something hopeful in them. Your story will answer questions for those still waiting. It will revive trust in those who thought it was too late. You'll find yourselves building things that outlive you, movements, ideas, communities, words that echo long after your time. This is why the opposition felt so heavy, why the delays felt endless, because this union was never casual. It carries a legacy that will speak for generations. What you are creating together won't just fill your hearts. It will spill into the lives of others, leaving traces of its power long after you're gone. There are certain connections that don't just touch your life. They ripple into generations. What you're stepping into is more than affection. It's a foundation. This love wasn't meant to simply delight you. It was meant to evolve you. All those seasons of waiting, healing, and rebuilding weren't just buying time. They were preparing you to walk into a partnership that carries both meaning and endurance. What's ahead isn't fleeting. It doesn't just soothe the moment. It strengthens the future. This bond won't crack under storms. It will stand and sing through them. It won't dissolve under tension. It will transform it into trust. It's a connection that listens beyond words, moving with wisdom instead of impulse. In this love, the next generation will see what integrity looks like. They'll witness devotion not just through spoken vows, but through lived actions. They'll grow up surrounded by presence that is steady and authentic, by hands that build as much as they hold. This isn't a love that accumulates trinkets of memory, but constructs monuments of meaning. Together, you'll create rhythms of faith and quiet strength that shape the atmosphere of your home. Your space will breathe with calm and joy, becoming a sanctuary rooted in something higher. Everything that felt lost before will not just return, it will return transformed, carrying deeper beauty than you imagined.